veteran Bollywood actor Mithun Chakraborty is all set to receive the prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke Award. He shall be honoured during the 70th National Film Awards ceremony scheduled for 8th of October 2024. Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnav shared the news on the platform X. Prime Minister Modi also congratulated Mithun Chakraborty about the news. It's on your screens right now. Said unparalleled contribution to Indian cinema. He's a cultural icon admired across generations for his versatile performances. Congratulations and best wishes to him.
मैं सच बोलूं कि मेरे पास कोई भाषा ही नहीं है, ना मैं हंस सकता हूं, ना मैं खुशी से रो सकता हूं। इतनी बड़ी चीज़ है, कैसे जहां से मैं आ रहा हूं कोलकाता के, कैसे एक ब्लाइंड लेन से फुटपाथ से लड़के इधर आया हूं, उस लड़के को इतना बड़ा सम्मान मैं सोच भी नहीं सकता। लिटरली मैं बागरूद हो गया। बस इतना बोल सकता हूँ, ये मैं डेडिकेट कर रहा हूँ मैं अपने फैमिली को और मेरे फैंस पूरे विश्व में जहाँ भी हैं उन सभी को।
बहुत ही गौरव की बात है कि मिथुन दा को दादा साहेब फाल्के अवार्ड दिया जा रहा है। मिथुन दा की पूरी ज़िंदगी स्ट्रगल और अचीवमेंट्स का एक कॉम्बिनेशन है। सोशल कॉज के लिए और पब्लिक लाइफ में उनका बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन है। मैं मिथुन दा को बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूँ।
All right, and to speak more on this, as an expert, Gautam Chintamani, author, writer and film historian. Hi Gautam, welcome to the broadcast. You know, a lot of people, the social media is full of it. The new generation is very thrilled because they've seen him in a dance reality show, and Dada has become iconic. And there are lots, I mean, at least from my generation, who are saying what? But when I seen his journey, you know, somebody who is Gaurango Chakraborty, who, who actually was very, very poor, then also was Naxal at one time and allegedly. Does Mrinal Sen's Mrigya, I still remember with Mamata Shankar, his movies, some of those movies, you know, even when he plays the role of Ramakrishna Paramahans or Hum Panch, I remember. And then I think he created a benchmark, you know, as B. Subhash's hero in Disco Dancer, Gun Master G9, Suraksha. So this actor is somebody who was actually hidden behind, one can say, a lot of other nomenclatures, but well deserving. Would you agree, Gautam Chintamani?
Namaskar, Sudha, and I totally agree that if you look at the body of work that Mithun Chakraborty has, you said a very interesting thing that the actor was always hidden behind all these facets and these tags that were bestowed upon him. But ironically and interestingly enough, Mithun Chakraborty started as an actor. He got the National Award for his first film.
Yes.
And the Gunmaster G9 series and the Disco Dancer and the Boxers and what have you came after that. So I think that if you look at the body of work, there have been actors, there have been stars, there have been icons, there have been legends. And then there is somebody like Mithun Chakraborty who checks all the boxes. So I think richly deserved. Of course, no award given any time in the history of awards being given comes without some surprises and shocks from people questioning them. And in the thriving democracy that we live with social media and people expressing themselves, there will be a lot of people who will celebrate today and there will be a lot of people who may question. But that would have been true for anybody getting the Dada Saheb Phalke Award, the highest cinema honor in this country. But when it comes to people who deserve it, I think Mithun Chakraborty is way up there, not just as an actor, but as also as somebody who has contributed to the field of cinema. Now, I'll just take a few moments here.
Sure.
When we talk about contributing to cinema, we usually think that has this person made any films? Has this person produced any films? Has this person introduced people? So if you look at those criteria, then somebody like a Dev Saab, who also was conferred with the Dada Saheb Phalke Award, richly deserved it. Somebody like Lata Mangeshkar, Yash Chopra. But Mithun Chakraborty has also worked for the betterment of people working in the industry. He has been the president of Cine Artists Association and technician associations for a very long time. He's a man with a golden heart, and he always used to place the the preferences and the benefits of people working in the industry. There's the silent heroes, so to speak, of the spot boys, the lightmen, the production people, and that's what makes him an icon that he is. So, keeping his film achievements in mind, he's a huge icon in Russia. He's a huge icon in a lot of African countries. Films like Disco Dancer still bring a smile to people's faces. And I remember this. I'm saying this because way back in the 80s, I had met a young Nigerian exchange student who the only person he knew from India was Mithun Chakravarti. So I think that today is a fantastic day, and especially an actor like him. It's a pity that we don't see much of him as much as one would have liked, but there's nothing that this guy cannot do.
You know, even now, if you look at television channels, movie channels which play out movies, only his movies are on repeats. Pyar Jhukta Nahi, or you know, Hum Panch, or many of his movies with Sridevi at that time. People love him. I want to ask you one final question before I let you go, Gautam. You know, the thing is that the man has struggled. I mean, from footpath, people say, like he himself said, but somebody who was extremely poor. You must remember, we all remember, you know, him playing a side role in Anjan, you know, Rekha and Amitabh Bachchan. He's standing there. You know, if you go back to that movie and see the scenes, there is Mithun there. You know, one would always jump and say, hey, isn't that Mithun? He did extra roles. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
beauty of, you know, our cinema, that you can say there is Mithun, you know. He did that. For the longest time, he was also tagged as poor man's Amitabh Bachchan. Then he had a problem because he's Bengali. He had an accent. It is only because they said don't speak very much, ज़्यादा dialogue mat bolo, dance karo, because you are good at it. So look at this, a man who had to struggle at every level. Also they said his color, the way, you know, that we are, you know, I mean, let's not hide behind it. We are very conscious as a country about looks, so we stereotype. So don't you think that because other people maybe had looks like Dharmendra, you know, they had looks, or they had pedigree, they had money. But this is a story of a struggle, and from here to Dada Saheb Phalke. Fantastic.
I don't think I could have summed it up much better, Sudha. But you know what is interesting is that you mentioned Do Anjane, which is a
Yeah.
film, Amitabh Bachchan and Rekha, and Mithun Chakravarti plays an extra in that film. Interestingly enough, Mithun Chakravarti was also working as a production assistant on the film, and his job was to take Rekha around for shopping in Calcutta during the shoot of the film. Then Mithun is there in that iconic song of Rishi Kapoor in Phool Khile Hain Gulshan Gulshan Mannu Bhai Motor Chali. He's sitting there. Now here is a guy who went on to become not just an icon but also India's highest taxpayer once upon a time. He's a hotelier. He's somebody who has seen it all. He is somebody who has struggled, and he's a person who acknowledges the tide of time. And I think that is what makes him interesting. I mean, I can see the names of his films
Yeah.
being on the screen right now, and many films which really showcase his credentials as an actor don't even make it to the top five because there's such a vast body of work that he has. He's a
Exactly.
guy who can
Yeah.
play Gunmaster G9. He can play uh, the character in Brigaya. He can play the elder in Guru. He can do comedy in the Golmaal series, and he can also play Ramakrishna Paramahans. Just think about that. The range that Mithun Chakravarti has
Yes,
is
truly.
phenomenal. And I think this should be a sign. There should be more of Mithunda in the days to come.
On that note, Gautam Chintamani, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Thank you indeed.